Hey friends, so here's something that is incredibly infuriating and interesting at the same time about healthcare. One of the main talking points people make about why we don't have single payer healthcare is because it would cost too much. It would cost individuals too much, and it would cost businesses too much, and so on and so forth. Well, I was just reading and listening to something about how, on average in America, an employer, if they're going to, provide you or help with your health insurance cost, for an average family of four, just the health insurance cost to the employer alone is about $27,000 per family. That equates to a little over $13 an hour just to pay for the health insurance. Now, most people in our country, you probably are aware of this, don't even make $13 an hour. So the part that's already been taken from their paychecks to pay for health care, like the full cost of it, which you don't see on your check stubs, that's to hide it from you. It's on purpose, by the way. But the cost of the portion of your health care that your employer pays for is more money than you're making that you actually see your take-home pay from your job. That is maddening. It also debunks the myth entirely, the outright lie, when we're told by media and politicians that it's too expensive. No, it's too expensive not to have it. And here's one more statistic I'll give you. To not have it over the course of the next 10 years, healthcare is going to cost us $49 trillion. If we do adopt a single-payer healthcare system, then healthcare is going to cost $32 trillion. Now, I'm not a math genius, but I can do first grade level subtraction. 32 minus, told you I'm not good at math, but 49 trillion minus 32 is a savings of $17 trillion. So we get single payer healthcare. It's like you pay $2, you get $3 or $4 back. I'll take that deal. Because I'm not too bright at math, but I can do simple math. I can do adding and subtraction, first grade level, whole numbers. It's great. So when someone says that it costs too much, no, the exact opposite is true. They're paid to lie to you. The politicians are paid by their donors, who happen to be, among others, the for-profit insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies. They pay the politicians to lie to you, to tell you that it would cost too much money, when the exact opposite is true. So the only way we're going to save a bunch of money and get a much better outcome with our health, it's to vote for political figures that take no donation money. And in this particular topic matter of insurance and the coverage of health, we have to vote for people that are not on the take in this system of legalized bribery from for-profit insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies. Because rest assured, if you're voting for a politician who is on the take of legalized bribery from private for-profit health insurance and for-profit pharmaceuticals and all that stuff, they're going to represent their interests and not yours, which means you will not be saving money. You're going to be spending more money. Right now, instead of spending $2 to get $3 or $4 back for a savings, it's like you're spending $2 only to have more money taken from you after that $2, because you got to pay for it. And then you have huge deductions and co-pays and monthly premiums, and you see some of that taken from your paycheck. But the bulk majority of the healthcare costs you don't see taken from your paycheck. Your employer pays for it, and you still have outrageous premiums, deductibles, and co-pays, and so on and so forth. Now, I'll close with this thought. Imagine if we have single-payer healthcare. So already, right off the bat, it's like $2, but you're going to get $3 or $4 back. Oh, I'm ahead. I can do first-grade math. Yeah, I want that deal. Single payer sounds good to me. Now, imagine when your employer, who pays a large cost of your health care coverage, imagine that $27,000 a year, or that $13 and something cents an hour, that money is freed up because your employer doesn't have to pay it anymore either. It's single payer healthcare. So you don't have to pay it. Your employer doesn't pay it. It's absorbed into the taxes, in addition to spending maybe $2 and you get $3 or $4 back. But now your employer has about $27,000 more on average per family of four. I think it's about $10,000 for an individual. But that's money that's on the table now. Your employer could use that to make the company a better place to work for. Your employer could give you a big honking pay raise, or let's just say 50-50. Your employer takes $27,000 if you're an average family of 4. That $27,000 is freed up. What's half of that? 13,500. So let's say they just split it down the middle. Your employer takes 13,500 of that 27,000 to put towards the company to make it a better place, better product, better service. The business grows, and the remaining, the other $13,500, you get a nice pay raise of an additional $13,500 throughout the course of. Wouldn't it be great to have a $13,500 pay rate, an annual pay raise, instead of some stupid once in a while bonus that still doesn't provide a long-term solution? Or what if, imagine the $13 an hour scenario. What if you're given an extra $13 an hour? That's your new pay raise, because we have single-payer healthcare now. Can you freaking imagine that? That's what's being stolen from you and from your employer. And there's other things being stolen from you too, but I want to keep this one specifically on the financing of healthcare. A single payer is the way to go. You are going to be so much wealthier. Your businesses are going to be so much wealthier, especially the smaller and medium-sized businesses that have to pay their taxes and don't get to socialize their losses, like the bigger Fortune 500 companies who donate to the politicians so that they get laws crafted that say they don't have to pay their taxes, and they get to socialize their losses because they really do love socialism after all, but only for themselves, not for you. You pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. Different standard for you than they want for them. Total double standard. So we have to vote for politicians that don't take bribe money, this legal system of corruption. It corrupts them 100% of the time. It corrupts them. We have a president right now that was for universal health care coverage, and once it was $4.7 million that was donated to his campaign by private insurance companies. Maybe more since then, but last I looked it was $4.7 million. Suddenly universal health care is a bad idea. It's a terrible idea. And you can find that with every politician that's on the take in the system of legalized bribery. So a place you can go to track all the money, see who's corrupt and who's not corrupt. Open Secrets. Just Google it. Open Secrets, money in politics, and their website will come right up, and you can look up any politician you want. You can look up any big money donor you want and see where it's going and see who's corrupt and see who does not represent you, but they represent their donors. And now you know who not to vote for. You can start to hone in on who to vote for, so that single payer becomes a law of the land, and you save a ton of money. And you also get peace of mind, not having to worry about how you're going to make ends meet if, God forbid, you get sick. Because even if you do have health care in this country, you still ain't covered. Most people can't afford to use it because the deductibles and so forth are just way too high. So single payer, it's the moral thing to do. It's the fiscally responsible thing to do. And all of us will have much more money. We'll have much more wealth. The current healthcare system with for-profit healthcare, it is a drain on our economy and every area of business. Unless you're one of the big money political donors, then you're fine, but that's only like 0.01% of the population. So that's not a very good balance whatsoever. So there you have it. My website, if you want to dig more about me, TomBerkenmeyer.com. Just like it's spelled here on social media, just take out the space, all lowercase, TomBerkenmeyer.com. Share this video. This has to get out there more. That's why I'm making this, not just to sound off, but I want you to know what's going on. And I want you to be proactive in getting a new government that represents us instead of just 0.1% of the population who happens to be the same people that donates to them and bribes them to do their bidding against us so they can have more at the expense of everybody else. So I'm making this video so that you can share this and talk about it, about getting the money out of politics, and also so that we don't believe the lies anymore from media or politicians who say that single-payer Medicare for everyone would be too expensive, because the exact opposite is true. So that's why I'm making this video. So please share this and add your comments. Add some, your own thoughts about it and how great it would be once we get single payer. I'd love to hear your feedback on that as well, okay? So bye for now, everybody. Until the next video. Mwah.